Hello everyone, welcome back to Brain Power classes. Today we are going to start with class 11th Geography chapter 1 Earth Movements. So you can see here four pics. Observe this and based on that there are few questions listed below, so we have to answer for that. So you can see the first photo is of earthquake, second is of volcano and rupture and all. Now you can see the questions here. So first of all, before we begin, let's first of all observe these four pics. And in the second, you can see here, in the first picture we can see collapsed buildings. In the second picture we can see a volcanic eruption. In the third picture the rock layers are bent. In fourth picture we can see mountains and valleys with different heights. So a question arises here: why do these changes occur on the earth's surface? The answer is earth's movement, and we are going to learn today about earth movement. So first of all, let's recall. So you can see the couple of questions are given here. So first question is, what might be the reason behind the collapsed buildings? So answer is, buildings actually collapse because of an earthquake. During an earthquake, the ground shakes suddenly, strong vibrations weaken the foundation of buildings, causing them to crack, causing them to crack or collapse. So you can write it also. And now second question is, which event is depicted in photo 2? What impact does it bring about in the surroundings? Photo 2 is of volcanic eruption. So photo 2 shows a volcanic eruption. During a volcanic eruption, hot lava, ash, gases and rocks come out from inside the earth. This can destroy forests, houses, roads and agricultural land. And it also changes the surrounding landscape by creating new landforms. Our third question is, in photo 3, what could be the reason behind the bend in rock strata? You can see this one is. So the main thing is compressional forces. The rock layers are bent because of compressional forces acting inside the earth. When rocks are passed towards each other for a very long time, they bend instead of breaking. This process is called folding. You have seen fold mountains also. Our fourth question is, what could be the reason behind the difference in altitude? Sorry, what could be the reason behind the difference in altitudes of the land and the steepness of the slope in photo? So in some book there is different questions, like they have asked why are the different heights and steep slopes in photo 4. So this one. So we will take a common answer. So the earth surface is not flat because of slow earth movements. Could be over millions of years. Some parts of the land rise while other sink. As a result, mountains, valleys and plateaus are formed, and there is a height difference and altitude difference too. Next question is, are classify the events in the photos into sudden and slow movements. So slow movements are bent rock layers, mountain and valleys, and sudden movements are earthquake and volcanic eruption. Next question is, example of which of these moments is generally not found in the mainland of India. So that is volcanic eruption, because India has a very few active volcanoes. The only active volcano is found in Barren Island in the Andaman and Nicobar Island, which is not part of mainland of India. Now let's begin with the geographical explanation. So when we look around, we see hills, mountains, plateaus, and valleys. These landforms were not created overnight. They are formed because different forces continuously act on the earth. These forces are of two types: internal forces and external forces. So, what are the internal forces? So, internal forces which act from inside the earth are internal forces. External forces which acts on the earth's surface through wind, rivers, glaciers and sea waves are external forces. In this chapter we are mainly studying internal forces. The earth is continuously changing. Sometimes these changes happen very slowly over millions of years, while sometimes they happen suddenly within a few seconds. Therefore, internal processes are divided into slow moments and sudden moments. Slow moments are responsible for forming mountains, continents, and plateaus. Sudden moments include earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Although we cannot see these internal forces directly, we can clearly see their effects on the Earth's surface. So, now evidence of Earth movements. You may wonder how scientists know that the Earth is constantly changing. There are many evidences. First evidence is after the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, the coast near Sumatra Island rose by a few centimeters. This proves that the earth crust can move upward due to internal forces. Second evidence is the Himalayas consist of three mountain ranges: Sivalika, Middle Himalayas, Greater Himalayas. These mountain ranges were formed because of continuous earth movements over millions of years. Our third evidence is near island volcanic eruption in 1963 created a completely new island above sea level. Some sailors actually witnessed this event. This shows that volcanic activity can even create new land. Our fourth evidence is after the tsunami, some islands like Megapode Island disappeared beneath the sea. This shows that the Earth's surface can also sink. Our fifth evidence is near Masgaon Dockyard, Mumbai, scientists discovered tree trunks deep under the sea. This means that land which was once covered with forests later submerged underwater because of earth movements. Now, these were the five evidence which we should remember and which we should know, because many times question is asked on that. And now, do you know? One interesting example is the Kutch earthquake of 1819. This earthquake submerged many coastal villages and damaged ships. At the same time, a huge area of about 1550 square kilometers was lifted upward. That means 1550 square kilometers was lifted upward. This raised land became known as Al Bun, which means Dam of God. This is another proof that the earthquakes can permanently change the earth's surface. Now, let's begin with the slow moments. Slow moments take place over thousands or even millions of years. They happen so slowly that we cannot notice them during our lifetime. They happen so slowly that we cannot notice them during our lifetime. Sorry, it was repeated. So these moments are also called tectonic moments because they are caused by internal forces acting inside the earth based on the direction Based on the direction of movement, slow movements are divided into two types: vertical or epirogenic movements, horizontal or orogenic movements. So the word the vertical epirogenic movements, the epirogenic means continent building. These movements occur because energy from inside the earth pushes large portions of the crust upward or downward. When a large area rises above sea level, it forms a continent. When a broad region rises without forming mountains, it forms a plateau. Similarly, some areas may sink below their previous level. These movements affect very large areas. Unlike mountain building, these movements are not caused by tension or compression. Instead, they simply cause upliftment or subsidence of the land. Our next one is horizontal orogenic moments. So now let's understand the second type of slow movements, which is horizontal or orogenic movement. The word orogenic means mountain building. It is horizontal orogenic. So unlike vertical movements, these movements are act sideways or horizontally. As a result, pressure or tension develops in the rock layers. Because of this, the earth crust bends or breaks. Horizontal moments mainly lead to folding or faulting. These moments are responsible for the formation of fold mountains and block mountains. Although these moments are also slow, they are faster than vertical moments and affect a smaller area. So now you can see the uh, types of horizontal forces. So there are two forces: tensional forces, compressional forces. Tensional forces pull the rock layer away from each other. Imagine stretching a rubber band as you pull it from both sides. You can see the example here. So it becomes thinner and may actually break. Rocks behave similarly when tensional forces acts on them. Because of these forces, cracks develop in rocks, fractures and faults are formed. The Earth's crust breaks into blocks. The forces mainly form rift valleys and block mountains. So remember, tensional forces pull apart cracks and faults are formed are results, and what rift valleys and block mountains are formed. Next is that compressional forces. Compressional forces acts in the opposite direction. Here the lock layers are pushed towards each other. Think of placing both hands on a sponge and pressing it from both sides. Instead of becoming longer, it bends becomes thicker. You can see your compressional forces. So similarly, when rocks are composed, rocks layers bend, folding takes place, fold mountains are formed. Examples include Himalayas, Alps, Rockies, and Alps. So remember, when compressional force is applied, it pushes together both the sides and folding happens, and results are fold mountains. So folding is the bending of rock layers due to compressional forces. Whether rocks fold or break depends on three factors: nature of rocks, intensity of force, duration of force. Soft and flexible rocks and rocks bend easily. Hard and brittle rocks usually break instead of bending. Folding generally occurs in the rocks that are deep inside the Earth's crust because they are under high pressure and remain flexible. Another important point is that the folding usually occurs when pressure acts slowly or over millions of years. Now let's understand the parts of fold. You can see here you can see anticline, syncline, limb, and all. So limb, the two sides of the fold are called limbs. Axial plane, the imaginary plane that divides a fold into two equal parts, is called the axial plane. It may be vertical, inclined, or horizontal. Anticline, when the central part is raised upward and both limbs slope downward, the fold is called an anticline. It looks like an arc. Syncline, you can see at this side syncline. It looks like syncline is when the central part is lower and both limbs slope towards each other. It is called a syncline. It looks like a valley. Remember, anticline is upward and syncline is downward fold. So fold mountains, repeated folding over millions of years forms fold mountains. Example are Himalayas, Alps, Rockies, Andes, etc. Now types of fold mountains. So old mountains, old fold mountains. These are more than 200 million years old because erosion. They are lower in height. Examples are Aravalli Range, Ural Mountains, Appalachian Mountains, etc. Young fold mountains. These are around 10 to 25 million years old. They are much higher because they are completely younger. Examples are Himalayas and Rockies. The highest peak in the world is Mount Everest, that is 8,848 meters above mean sea level, is part of the Himalayas. Now see here types of folds. So depending on the position of the limbs and the axial plane, folds are classified into five types. First is symmetrical fold. Both limbs have same slope. The axial plane is vertical. Second is asymmetrical fold. The limbs have different slopes. The axial plane is inclined. Overturned fold. One limb bends over the other. Both limb slopes in the same direction but at different edges. Recumbent fold. The axial plane becomes almost horizontal. One limb lies almost completely over the other. Fifth one is our isoclinical fold. Both limbs slope in the same direction with equal inclination. The axial plane may be vertical, inclined, or horizontal. Same as you can see the types of faults also. So now faulting. Now let's move to the another important process, that is faulting. Sometimes the rocks are too hard to rigid to bend. Instead of faulting, they break. This breaking and displacement of rock is called the faulting. So the cracks along which the rocks move is called a fault plane. The movement may be upward, downward, horizontal. Faulting mainly forms block mountains, rift valleys. Types of faults are normal fault, a block of land slides downward. The expected exposed fault plane faces the sky. Reverse fault, one block moves upward due to compression. The fault phone faces the ground. Tear fault, the moment the moment is horizontal, there is no upward downward displacement. I'm taking a little fast because of I don't want to make video much lengthy, so it will be no more interesting, or it will feel like you are boring. So just little going I'm little going fast. Now tear fault, the moment is horizontal, there is no upward or downward displacement. Thrust fault, one block of land is pushed over another. The fault plane usually makes an angle of less than 45 degree. Block mountain, when the land between two faults rises or the land on both sides sinks, a block mountain, or also called as horst, is formed. Characteristics are steep sides, flat top, usually no pointed peak. Examples are Satpura Ranges, Meghalaya Plateau, Osges Mountain in France, and Black Forest in Germany. So here we will in next video we will start with the Rift Valley. Thank you everyone. Keep learning and keep growing with brain power classes. See you in next video. Bye.